I think Ian Garry would surprise us. I think he's going to come in there with a good game plan, stick and move, wrestle hard, and that would be I feel like that's a pretty close fight.
And I'm telling you right now, this fight for Islam Makhachev may be a lot harder than what people think. Given all of the accolades that Islam Makhachev has, it's easy to just dismiss Ian Garry and say, listen, he's got to just run right through him. Okay, you could send him to Dagestan or Georgia for 20 years and still forget all about it, okay? Because Islam Makhachev is the GOAT. He's going to take him down. The man's Irish. They don't wrestle in Ireland, for crying out loud. Well, guess what? He's a well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's 17-1. He had a very, very close fight with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Ended the fight threatening the rear naked choke. He beat the former champion, Belal Muhammad, that wrestled the life out of Leon Edwards, okay? So this is a real fight. Before you start to think that this is just going to be one-way traffic, I'm telling you, this is going to be a lot tougher than what you think.
I'm tricky on the feet, I'm tricky on the ground, I'm hard to touch, I'm hard to control, I'm hard to predict what I'm going to do, I'm hard to read. All of those are elite stand-up and grappling skills. So from my point of view, there is nobody in this division that is a trickier matchup for Islam Makhachev. I'm 6'3", I'm long, I'm tall, I'm beautiful, I know how to use my hands, my feet, I know how to stop the takedown. I stopped 15 of 17 takedowns from Shavkat and Belal Muhammad. I know what I'm doing in this sport.
But if you want to stop a wrestler from taking you down, get up 3 times. If you get taken down, you got an overwhelming wrestler. You got Jordan Burroughs to deal with. It would not matter. If they take you down 3 times, they use all that effort to get you down, and you get back to your feet, that wrestler is done trying to take you down. It is so effective and so important, right? When a wrestler takes you down, he's got to have a moment there. He has to have a moment. It is the most cardio demanding thing you can do in a fight, is to take somebody down. You must have a moment to get your breath back. To prove how important it is what ended Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. Ilia's final effort was that big double leg, and if he got it, he was going to stay in the fight, and if he didn't, we were done. And he didn't. Justin stopped it, and that is where that fight ended. So I think that Ian Garry is real close here.
Ian Machado Garry, I don't think has the takedown defense that some of these other guys, the Michael Moraleses and others, might possess. But I do think he's the most elusive on the feet in the division. And you look at the height, the range, the reach, and how Machado is so good at taking out that calf kick, staying long, being on his bike at a lot of moments of the fight. You look at, this is an odd comparison, but you look at the Prates fight. Prates wasn't trying to take him down, but Prates is a killer. And me and Machado Garry knew how to stay at his fight range for the entirety of that fight. Yeah, he got tired at the end, but you look at how he maneuvered through the danger zone of a very tall, very fast Prates. And if he's able to fight that type of fight on his bike, stay long and rangy and snappy and chop out the legs of Islam, I think we can see Islam a little bit disoriented, not knowing.
When that cage door closed on August 15th and I'm stood across him, I'm going to go out there and do everything I possibly can to put him unconscious and get my hand raised. I genuinely, right now, it's by any means necessary. My hand gets raised by any means necessary. It could be first round knockout, it could be 5th round knockout, it could be submission, it could be a dog and dog back and forth war. As long as my hand gets raised, I've succeeded in achieving everything I want to achieve in the sport.
This guy always talks about how he knocks everyone out, or he's going to finish them, he's going to do this and that. How many finishes does he have in the last like 7 or 8 fights?
Not a lot.
No. So
not a lot.
So my point is that he's going to continue to fight the way. This is what makes him. This is what I've always said. This is what's going to make him dangerous for Islam, because nothing changes for him. He needs to stay on his bike, needs to stick and move, and he needs to make sure he don't get tired this time. He can't afford to get tired like he did against Carlos Prates. He gets tired like he did against Carlos Prates, this fight is over. Now I know that was late in the fight, but ultimately, like, you cannot afford to get tired like that. And I know that I think he took that fight on short notice as well against Carlos Prates.
Of course, he's an underdog, against Makhachev, but I truly believe he have a really good skills to beat Makhachev. You know, of course it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard fight. I think if he would the guy like kind of guy like knock people out a little bit more, he hurt a little bit more, would be like less hard to beat to him beat Makhachev. You know, he do a lot of points. He don't hurt people.
Yeah, he gives you that like there's nothing to fear, right? And then it's like, oh man, it's been 3 rounds already, and he's gotten away so many times. I think obviously his biggest weakness is cardio. So for himself, is trying to fix that, and you got to go 5 rounds. You got to figure out a way to go 5 rounds, especially with your style, where you're not like a finisher like that. You have to be able to push that same pace, push that same running for 5 rounds. So for him, it's just figuring that out. And I think fighters now are starting to see his weaknesses. But like I said, he makes adjustments. He's the guy he's always trying to get better too. So let's see what he does. I mean, he is very smart. He understands strategy. He understands how to move and distance. And I think it'll be a lot of running, but it's just for Islam to like catch him and try to grab hold of him.
This is one of them years, and it comes around often where we just start seeing guys get knocked off that you didn't expect them to get knocked off. Ian Garry's really good. And sometimes we forget how good he is because we want to not like him because he says things or does things, or when we vilify a fighter, we tend to hang on to that. And we've done that with Ian Garry. Like whatever he did in the past, we tend to hang on to that. And then we also forget about how good he really is. He's got great footwork. He's got a really high IQ for fighting. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's long, he's rangy. He's got a lot of experience now. He's always been getting better along the way. And he's got wins over guys that guys never could really figure out. Like, he's got a win over Michael Venom Page. No one could really figure out Michael Venom Page. Ian Garry's got a win over him. Carlos Prates, he's an absolute killer right now. Ian Garry's got a win over him. So the fact that he's able to find ways to beat guys that no one else can beat makes him a very dangerous opponent for Islam.
But I think also too, man, this is what people have to remember, dude. There's 15 pounds that when you go up from 155 pounds to 170 pounds, that's 15 pounds, man. Ian, he's never fought a big, long dude that has a jab, that knows how to kick, that's a longer body.
Move a lot.
I'm always kind of pro wrestling. Like every time there's a wrestler that's going up against a striker or whatnot, I'll always kind of tend to go with the wrestler, particularly if I know their mindset a little bit. But in this one, man, and I'm good friends with Islam. Obviously, I'm not counting this dude out, but I'm just saying, bro, I still go back and I think of some of the weapons that Ian Garry has, and even Ian Garry, man. Ian Garry can take the back very, very well. He's shown that, man. If you're able to take the back against a guy like Shavkat Rakhmonov and then almost finish him with the smaller guy with longer legs, I think I personally think this is a good fight for Ian Garry.
Ian comes out and looks his absolute best when people think that he can't. Go see the Rakhmonov fight just as an example. He won many aspects of that fight. Rakhmonov won the contest as a whole, but Ian took his O away. Ian defended those positions. Ian showed that wrestling wasn't impenetrable. It's interesting.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he faced someone like Rakhmonov is a good thing, that he's experienced that. And Rakhmonov is one of the largest welterweights in the world. He's not, he's not going to feel like Islam Makhachev on top of him. I think Islam can create that, maybe even more pressure and probably more danger with submissions, but he's not going to feel that heavy and strong like Rakhmonov is. So I think it's good that Ian Garry has experienced a fight similar to that in the past.
Look, this is a lot better fight than I initially thought. We know that Islam is, he's morphed into so much more than just being that dominant grappler, right? His striking, his kicks, all aspects of his game is on another level. But there's something about Ian Garry's game that I feel is hard to get past. I feel like one thing that Ian does really well is that he makes adjustments really good on the fly. You know what I'm saying?
He's a problem solver.
Yeah, he's a problem solver, and I feel like that gives a little issue. He's got some sneaky power. He's got some accuracy. He got some tricky things that he does.
I think that's the best chance he has, though, is to run and frustrate Islam into
making a bad mistake,
bad shots, bad takedown offense, also bad throw strikes on the feet because you're overreaching. Because Islam is used to dominating. He wants to run and go in there and just take him down, submit him, or beat him up on the feet. And if this fight is just slow and it's boring, I think Islam will make some mistakes.
But it's the style that Ian Garry has. It is the length and the reach that he has. And it is his ability to silence out the crowd and not give a damn if you people are booing. If everyone in the arena is throwing their popcorn and the drinks and going, boo, this is garbage, because all Ian Garry is doing is dancing around, popping the jab, throwing the right hand, using push kicks to keep Islam away, he won't care, because on paper, or according to the judges, he's winning the fight. And his job is to win the fight and become the welterweight champion of the world.
I just feel like there's going to be, I could see a kind of like not a lot happening, and then suddenly you realize, oh shit, is Islam down 3 rounds? Because they just haven't been doing a lot, because Ian's been really good at preventing him from getting anything going. And then you suddenly think like, well, hold on, has Ian's oblique kicks won these rounds? And I just wonder if you go into the championship rounds going like, fuck, Islam might be down. That's where I sort of see Ian getting the win, is that he's just banking rounds very slowly, subtly, and then suddenly you wonder, like, how are they scoring these? That's kind of how I see the fight playing out.
And I think Garry can at least make it close-ish. Because Gary's got a little bit of that Sean Strickland in him, where it's like, what's the best thing about him? And it's his defense. Mm-hmm. His defense is good. His takedown defense is good. His footwork is great. His ability to touch and go, his range management, like these are all great things.
Here's what I like. Gary's been talking about the wrestling for the last couple of years, so he's 1,000,000% putting the time in. He's a huge welterweight, which is going to pose a problem. I think he's got an awkward style. He's got, he moves a lot, and he seems to find a way to win fights. So I think this is a really tough matchup for Islam. Because of the size and the fact that he's had you kind of know what's going to happen, and I'm interested to see how that plays out. But this will be, I think, a really true test of where Islam is as a welterweight, because this kid's huge. He is a big welterweight.
Is Makhachev going to get it done? Volkanovski took it. Listen, I'm going to go through that. We're going through it again. Volkanovski took this guy to a razor close decision. That's a featherweight. That's a featherweight Volk right there. Listen, maybe he's past his prime now, whatever you want to say, but when he first moved up to take on Makhachev at lightweight, he had Makhachev clinging on for dear life in round 5. You're telling me he's going to take out 6'3" Ian Garry?
Everyone around Islam Makhachev has fallen on the pound for pound list. He's the only one that's hung out there in these past 6 months or so. Even Merab was number 3 or 4 when he lost to Yan. So it is very possible Ian Garry is hungry for this moment. He is skilled. He is completely focused. All this stuff. He's got the traits. This is a very hard fight for Islam Makhachev. Maybe he wakes us all up and says, okay, this is why this guy is different, and in the process breaks the record, becomes the first guy in UFC history to win 17 straight fights. No one has made it beyond this point ever. So he is trying to do something unprecedented here, and we see time and time again these guys get to the cusp of this stuff and then they fall. So I'm bracing myself for an Ian Garry victory already, but Islam Makhachev is spectacular. I think as highly of him as anyone in the sport.